What's up, everybody? Maverick Kid here, coming to you again. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my comic review. Hope everybody's well on their end. This week was pretty good for me in terms of comics. As I said before, wasn't going to have a lot of DC, like I said, for the week of the 23rd or so. Correct me on that one, guys. But like I said, wasn't gonna have a lot of DC. So this week got a lot of independent Marvel, and like I said, only one DC. That, like I said, until DC will return once the Future End stuff ends, when it's over, you know. But it was give and take with the Future End stuff. It was just like with the villain weeks, the villain month joint. Not all the villain month titles I enjoyed, and with the Future End, not all of them I cared for. I heard the Superman was pretty good. Harley and Joker get married, okay, but to me, my favorite, I may come off a little biased, but yeah, it was Gail Simone's Batgirl. I got everything I wanted in that. I got 3 generations of Batgirl. That was a dream come true for me. Seeing all of them in one book that was like a dream for me. And like I said, yeah, it was Gail's curtain call to Batgirl, but like I said, not a lot of them. But I rambled on at the mouth long enough. You guys want to see what I got? Let's do it. So, I didn't board and bag them yet, guys. So here's what I got. So let's kick it off in DC because it is the only DC book I got. And let's kick it off with none other than He-Man, Masters of the Universe number 17. David Aben takes over. As you know, he's been taking over. This series has been just incredible. You gotta remember, I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with this guy. He was my childhood hero. One of them. Before I even met old Webhead. In this issue alone, I have never seen the most powerful man in the universe in such dire in my entire life. In his entire 30 plus years, I've never seen He-Man in such dire straits. I'm not going to spoil too much in this, but let's just say some shit goes down in this between He-Man, his sister-in-law, the fact that Teela as well. We get to learn some more about King Grayskull as well. We get to learn that there were 2 swords made in this, the Sword of Power, which He-Man uses, and the Sword of Protection. So pretty much, I got a Inuyasha vibe from this, from the Tetsaiga and the Tetseiga. Pretty much, think about that for all who reads this. I've always said this, and I haven't been able to tell you guys, but Teela as the sorceress, she looks like she belongs with, if she was a part of the G.I. Joe universe, she'd probably be Cobra, because she looks like some, she's just like really weird. But things go down in this that just really shake Amara to her core, as well as shake her trust in Teela, and I'm going to leave it at that. You just have to read it for yourself to figure out what I'm talking about. But other than that, for David Aben and Dan Aben and Pope Man, for his artwork, He-Man, Master of the Universe number 17, great stuff. Do yourselves a favor if you trying to catch up, you want to get into this, find them in trade, and just enjoy. Alright, so we move on to Dark Horse. And we move on to none other than Captain Midnight, number 15. I've just been loving this series. Joshua Williamson and Manuel Garcia. His artwork is really good. I like Manuel's artwork very well, very well. So Captain Midnight, as you know, he's still been adjusting to the modern world. Remember, he's from World War II. He trapped in the Bermuda Triangle, came out, world's changed. Think of, he's a classic pulp era hero, but you know, when Dark Horse got him, they kind of modernized him a little bit. Well, not modernized, they took him from that time. He's like a man out of time. But in this issue alone, this man right here was hired to steal Captain Midnight's brain. Remember, Captain Midnight is very intelligent. He's created a lot of weapons and a lot of things that have helped the Allies against the Axis, like the Nazis, things like that. And it's a pretty decent fight in this. Captain Midnight's wearing these goggles, these new goggles he made that just can read, you know, biogenetic codes and everything like that. And you know, but this guy right here is just as smart. So it's almost like brain versus brain. So Captain Marvel has to really kind of use not just his brain. I said Captain Marvel, I mean Captain Midnight. That's not just to use his brain, but he has to get a little nitty gritty and start using the brawn. And he also, but he also pays a visit to someone he loved and tells him that he's going to be the best hero he can be in this world. You know, the whole usual stip, and he's going to live up to it. But other than that, still a great series. I'm glad to know that I got somebody on board with this series. I think it was my friend Zach, because he told me. Captain Midnight, number 15, good stuff. Alright, we'll keep it in Dark Horse, and this was another series that I was picking up when I wasn't, like I said, still reading my books, just didn't do live reviews and stuff. But here's another book I've been reading since issue 1, and it is none other than Conan The Avenger. This is part 6. This is issue 6 of the Shadows over Kush story arc. Fred Van Lint has been doing a pretty decent job with this version of Conan. I used to collect Conan comics. I love Conan. He's one of my favorite barbarian characters. I always thank Robert E. Howard for creating him, even though the man is dead, but always thank him anyway. He's one of the best barbarian characters. And notice what I said, one of, because I know there's gonna be somebody, well, he's not the best because this guy's out there better, like Gatsu from Berserk and things like that. You know, okay, yeah, Guts is great too, but let's face it, if it wasn't for Conan, there probably would never be any more badass barbarian characters. So give him props. But this series is a little bit different than the other Conan runs that Dark Horse does. In this, Conan he follows someone. He follows someone's lead. He follows under someone. Now, that right there may throw you off, like, whoa, Conan following someone other than somebody else? That's not like Conan. But he sees the error of his ways, because the person that he follows is cruel and, vain, and he uses slavery. And Conan, we all know Conan is against slavery. He doesn't agree with that. And Conan does the right thing and breaks free of that. And we start to see the slaves revolt against this king. And it's always good to hear Conan say "Buy crumb" and things like that. He has a fight with a humanoid boar man, and Conan just kicks the shit out of this thing barehanded, then takes his sword and it gets gruesome. Eduardo Francisco's artwork is very decent. It works for Conan. he does save the day. He does do some damage in this, and I'll show you like him fighting the boar man. If I can find it. There he is, fighting the boar man, and he just cuts the hell out of him. You can see that. But other than that, Conan the Avenger, number 6, good stuff. Can't wait to read some more. I've always had respect for Fred Van Lent's writing, whether he worked for Marvel or so and so. It's good stuff, very much indeed. So the last Dark Horse book I got is from the lady herself, Tomb Raider, number 8. This series has just been really good. For all those who never played the game, the latest game, this kind of follows the storyline of that. In this issue, basically, Gail Simone does writing, my lady, and Rihanna Pratchett, I hope I'm saying your name right. They co-write this together, and that cover is not false advertising. If you recognize that Ferris wheel, Laura goes to one of the most unpleasant cities in the world, a city that it's not very healthy for you to stay in, Chernobyl. Yeah. She goes there to find someone that one of the people that kept her alive is. And Laura knows, like, I'm not supposed to be here, this is dangerous, things like that. She's holding a Geiger counter everywhere she goes, just in case she gets in a hot spot, the Geiger counter tell her, okay, gotta move, and she's not in there with protective gear on. She's just walking around in a leather jacket and things like that. She does find the person she's looking for, and it gets really hectic from there. But as always, Gail still continues to showcase, how she can adapt to characters very well, and especially a character who is a very famous video game character, but just a different take on it. Remember, this is the Gail, this is the Laura from the latest reboot game. And speaking as a gamer, I'm hoping that the sequel is not just exclusive to Xbox One, because I don't plan on getting Xbox One. I will be getting a PS4. I haven't had a Sony system since PS2. I'm not even joking about that, guys. But yeah, this was still good, excellent, good tag team duo between Gail and Mr. Pratchett, or Ms. I'm not sure if that's a man or female, so I'm just gonna say they're both. But Gail, keep up the good work with Tomb Raider. For all those who do read this, what do you think of this? Right. We are out of Dark Horse and we move into Dynamite and get a double dose of Gail Simone. Red Sonja, number 12. I like that cover. Nice cover, badass. Gail Simone once again. So I tip my hat. Well, I'm not wearing a hat, I'm wearing a beanie, but I bow to you once again, my lady. As you all know, I have nothing but respect to Gail. This is the conclusion of the story arc that's been going on, where Gail has been, I keep saying Gail, Sonja has been tracking down all these individuals for this king. She does. She accomplished her mission. She takes them back to the king. However, the storyline's been done before, but you figure it out that the king is not as benevolent as he claims to be. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing, or you know, the chameleon is shown his true colors, and you know, Sonja, she don't like that. You know what happens there when the she-devil gets in your ass. Yeah. And not only that, the people that she's been traveling with help her out too. And it was really good because I really like this issue a lot. Is Gale showcases that Sonja is not just a badass redheaded warrior that I think most people just look at her for. I mean, she's got the chainmail bathing suit, and you know, she's badass. You know, she's just as tough, or maybe even tougher than Conan. But you know, I said maybe. So once again, you know, and you know, but we do see she has feelings, and we see that Gale scripts Sonja's dialogue so well of showcasing, you know, how Sonja feels for all these people she's accompanying with. And she even says, like, I not just respect them, but I've come to love them and like a family. And it's like, and she's even surprised she's even saying, it's like, that was just good writing on Gale's part, and you're just like, way to go. You know, she's not just to cut you down and, you know, just look badass. You know, she's got feelings, she's got a heart. And you know, sometimes it could be a little bit shady, but she does have, it does beat. But this was really good, very fine story. Do yourselves a favor, if you are not reading Red Sonja, pick it up. You won't be disappointed, I promise. Alright, so we move out of Dynamite, and we move into Valiant Comics, Manowar number 29. Robert Venditti does a superb job writing this title. This is coming off the Armored Hunters miniseries that was going on, and this is the aftermath in a sense of it. Alric, Manowar, has defeated them, these Armored Hunters, and he's now kind of working with the government in a sense to find certain people who share his, you know, share what he's gone through. They do, and also he finds kind of an old enemy / ally, and he's able to cure this ally of his somewhat an ailment in terms of the armor. He has an armor too, just like Alric here, but Alric's able to help him control it, and it was pretty much straightforward. Nothing really too special, nothing really too big. Just really good storytelling, showcasing that Alric has really come. Remember, he is from the 5th century, but now he is so much adjusted to the 21st century. He is now really thinking as it as his home, and you get to see that. So yeah, good stuff. Last independent comic, we move on to ZENESCOPE, and when you're talking about ZENESCOPE, out of all the ZENESCOPE titles that I read, none is more my favorite than none other than Robyn Hood number 2. This is her ongoing series now. Mostly all the Robyn Hood series have been minis, and Robyn is she's back home. She's in New York City. She has a private eye firm with her and Marion, who is from the Mist, but she's come back with her, and they're dealing. And basically, Mr. Pat Chan does a fantastic job and just tells a fun story of what you would just a good storytelling. Robyn and Marion are dealing with a priest who is pretty much souped up on demonic forces because of the results of a rollerblading derby group, team meddling with magics that they have no business meddling with, and the outcome of that is this priest, and he's come to like collect their souls and things like that. And Marion and Robyn do their best to keep them safe, but also get down to the bottom of, get down to the bottom of the nitty gritty of everything as well. Robyn does some things in here, you're just like, that's Robyn for you. That's how she is. The artwork by Claudia Bamoni, I believe, if I'm pronouncing your name right, ma'am, is very good. Pat Chant, he knows how to write Robyn. It's not like it's not new. He's not like he's new to it. He's been writing this character for so long, and it's just like all the dialogue that Robyn is spewing out, you expect that from her, and I enjoyed it very much. It's good to see that some of the ZENESCOPE or Grimm fairy tale characters from the ZENESCOPE universe are getting ongoings. I believe Alice from Wonderland, she's getting one as well. Probably picked that up as well. But I've come to really respect ZENESCOPE as a company, maybe an indie company, but it is a good company of taking these classic characters, putting a little twist to them, and making magic. And this was magic. So Mr. Shant, keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to seeing how Robyn and Marion are going to get out of this subject. This issue does end on like a dun 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 moment. So yeah. Alright, so the next titles, all the other titles are Marvel, and once again, all these titles, most of these titles all the titles I've read before. Just like I said, I've been gone for a while, but was always willing to tell people, so what are you reading, Chris? And I'll tell them, I'm reading this. But we'll get to another title. All New Ghost Rider, number 7. Philip Smith, Damian Scott. For all those who want to know, what's the deal with Robbie Reyes, this Ghost Rider? Is he a part of Zarathos like Dan, Danny and Johnny? No, he's not. His powers come from more of truly not demonic, but just a spirit, literally a ghost that was inhabiting his car. And the thing about Robbie is he's a good kid. He just wants to help his brother, and he means he can get out of East LA and things like that, and kind of live the good life for him and his brother. His heart is in the right place, but there are times he's doing something illegal to earn his income, which is illegal street racing. Let's face it, legal street racing is not illegal. And we get to see that in this. He has been dealing with some villains. For example, Mr. Hyde has been roaming around LA in this, but the spirit that inhabits him, which is known as the haunted spirit, basically is known as Eli Morrow. He's kind of a douche, and he doesn't care for Robbie abusing the power and basically how can I put it, abusing the power and doing these street races and things like that to win, because he doesn't care about that. He has his own enemies to smite, because he couldn't do it because he was dead. And we see that intertwined between Robbie and Eli. And it comes to the point where Eli starts to take over his body at point, and Robbie's like, what the heck you doing? Things like that. And, times where Robbie wants to, invoke the power, but he can't because Eli is blocking it. And it gets to the point where, they have to compromise in terms of realizing, okay, they have to realize they are together in this. and even still it gets bad, because at one point Robbie needs to be, he knows he has to be at this race in Arizona in this issue, you know, and it's paying $5,000. He knows if I can win that money, he places a bet with another racer, double the money. Unfortunately, don't want to spoil too much for you, but it was good. It was good. The artwork is still, to me, getting used to, even after 7 issues. The ending of this book, I knew it was coming, and it looks like Marvel was building up to this. Robbie comes across the real Ghost Rider. I'll show you at the end. Look who it is. Johnny Blaze is there. So it comes to that. It would have been cool if it was both brothers there, Danny and Johnny. But other than that, it was good. You know, it was good. I enjoyed it. Didn't hate the book. I know this title is ending, I think, because of, you know, sales aren't that good. And, you know, Ghost Rider is a very hard character to write, no matter what. No matter how much you try to switch it up, change it, he's still kind of hard. I've said that about several characters. Silver Surfer, I feel, is a very hard character, even for professionals. You know? But all new Ghost Rider was. Next up, all new Invaders. Number 10. James Robinson still is killing it on this book, on this title. But I have to say this. I'm not really feeling the fact that they made Toro, the original Human Torch's sidekick, inhuman. He's always been a mutant. And I hate when Marvel likes to retcon that stuff and say, no, he was actually inhuman. It's like, hey, what, oh, huh? It's like, when you already established that, why change it? I know Marvel now wants to start putting the fact of having Inhumans now in that category of being where the X-Men were. Like, Inhuman, mutant, now Inhumans are in that boat. And I know Marvel wants to put the spotlight more on the human. That's fine and dandy. But, you know, you don't have to start making some known mutant characters. Oh, they were actually inhuman. They do deal with various Deathlocks from various worlds in this, including the original Deathlock, Luther Manning. He's here. It was really good to see him. You know, has his in the Cap season. They're talking and things like that. We get to see who has been informing Bucky on a lot of, like secret op missions. Steve is still pissed off at Namor and Doctor Strange and Tony and all them for pulling a Batman on him, basically wiping his memory of the Illuminati, things like that. Because he found out because of, you know, the Eye from Original Sin. And this is the first time ever that, my recollection, that Marvel is announcing that Martians exist in the Marvel Universe. You know, all these other alien races in the Marvel Universe, never once have we heard them say Martian. But yeah, it's here. But good storytelling. I did enjoy what I was reading here from Mr. Robinson. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, but we do get to see some other characters that were really cool for me, especially. We got to see Spitfire. I love me some Spitfire. We got to see Union Jack and Destroyer at the end of the book, which is really cool. They're fighting they're about to go into battle, and they see like a Martian-like droid getting ready. I believe it's about to destroy the London Bridge, and they go in. And I love one of the lines. I think it was Union Jack saying, or I think it was Spitfire. She said, "I wish Brian was here," talking about Captain Britain. But this was good stuff. James Robinson, still continue what you do on that title. Amazing X-Men. number 11. Chris Yost, Craig Kyle do the writing on this. Still continuing the whole Wendigo stuff that's been going on. Wolverine has been turned. He finally, been turned to a Wendigo. We're starting to find out that if a Wendigo tries to cross into America from the Canadian border and America, it'll they'll turn human again. They're just doing their best to keep, it contained. We get to see kind of who the true culprit of all this is. Don't want to spoil too much. Some funny stuff happens in here with Iceman, which was kind of funny. But then there's Aurora, North Star's sister. She comes off so bitchy, and in this, it's like, what the hell? Why is she being written like this? Is it because she's jealous of her brother because he has a lover and things like that, and you don't? I don't know. But the more she was in this book, the more I was just like, oh my god, like, why is she acting like? Does she want a boyfriend? I'm like, somebody laid a pipe on her, please. Just put it in her mouth and so she can shut up. It was just like, oh my god, she's acting like a bitch, and I couldn't take it no more. It's like, to the point I was like, thank you, Jean-Paul. Say something about it. But other than that, it was good. But yeah, Aurora just pissed me off. I was just like, oh my god, Aurora, what is your problem? Somebody just put a dick in your mouth and suck it. Shut up. Alright, move on, continuing Edge of Spider-Verse. This is part 3. Dustin Weaver does the artwork and the writing. I've always loved Dustin Weaver's artwork. And we get to see another Spider-Man from another dimension. And his last name, his last name isn't even Parker. It's Aikman. Meet Aaron Aikman, the Spider-Man. Very cool character, a very smart character, very smart Spider-Man. He is, trying to remember what he was. He's 27, and he's a brilliant molecular biologist. And which was really cool in this, we get to. It felt like classic old. Remember those old Fleet 92 cards that they had? They got stuff like there in this, which is really funny. Like you can see right here, like showcasing some of the villains he's faced. What makes him cool is he created his powers himself. He kind of did an experiment on himself and gained, abilities like a spider and things like that. His suit is pretty badass, and it's like a, for me, it reminds me a little bit of Mega Man in a sense. His mask like sheeps up a little bit, and it's got like monitors all over, like these eyes, like monitors all over. And they start to talk about, people that he loved, like a lover. Her name was, who actually was her boss, was his boss actually. Hana Ichimage, I think that's how you say her name. He fell in love with her, and but her daughter was really sick, and they broke up, and things like that. But there was one villain and then they talk about, like, after he fought one villain, his first villain called Red Eye, more started to come out, and then he met a villain that almost he could not beat, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce its name, but that's where it gets to the point of who this character may be. And but Aaron is very smart, and he showcases his intelligence a lot in this, and it's just like, with these series, it's like, okay, he's gonna play a big factor in this Spider-Verse series. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing more. It was good. This was really good. I enjoyed it. Was it better than the Gwen? No, but it was good to see another Spider-Man that his name isn't Peter Parker. I thought Aikman was really good. Aaron Aikman, Spider-Man. Alright. Guardians of the Galaxy number 19, excuse me. This is part 2 of the whole story arc between, what happened between Peter, Richard Rider, Nova, Thanos, and all of them when they were in the Cancerverse, and Thanos and Purvis and things like that. First of all, I didn't never got to say this before, but it is damn good to see Richard back. That's my Nova. I am tolerating and starting to like Sam. I don't hate the character guy, but this is my Nova. We get to hear the story. It's funny that it's just taken so long to finally get to know what happened, how Peter Quill survived and Thanos survived, but Nova didn't come back. Don't want to spoil too much in here, but the fact is, remember, in the Cancerverse, everything is different, and boy, is it different. There's a lot of deaths in this, quasi-deaths, I should say. They're fighting the Avengers. They played the Cancerverse version of the Avengers. Gets really intense, and something bad in this happens to Richard, and I won't even stoop to telling you what it is, but it was like, oh man. But this doesn't happen, so don't let that cover fool you. That is false advertising. But other than that, Guardians of the Galaxy number 19 was good. It was good. Bendis does what he could. He's trying to wrap up something that we all wanted to know, and for that I give him credit. That's just me. Mighty Avengers. This is the final chapter, in a sense. Cover. You see Luke on the cover, and the Death Walker. This was good. Al Ewing does a good job. He's done a good job with the first 14 issues of this. Salvador LaRocca, always good to see Salvador LaRocca. I always like his artwork. And Luke and the rest of his team of Avengers deal with the Death Walkers on a plane that not a lot of them are fancy of going on. And you get to see how close this team of Avengers are with each other, that forges the power to defeat this Death Walker. And even before that, Luke just shows right away that he don't lay down for nobody, and not even a demon. And he takes it to him. But the next chapter is, the whole Captain America and the Mighty Avengers. Will I be picking it up? Yes, I will. It's the only place I can find Luke in a lot of them, things like that. So, I'm gonna give it. But for the final chapter, it was cool. I just wish that they didn't have to, start all over with Captain America and the Mighty Avengers. I've always had a problem with these unnecessary reboots. Just keep it going. Why is it so hard now for creative teams and stuff to continue the numbering? I don't get it. I never got it. New Avengers number 24. Jonathan Hickman turned 8 months. Time runs out. This was really interesting because it takes place 8 months in a possible future, and it centers all around the new Cabal here. And we got Thanos. We got Thanos and Terax the Tamer on the Cabal. What the fuck? Okay, holy shit. And it just gets really, they're going to different worlds. What they did to one world's Charles Xavier, I was like, holy shit. But as always with Jonathan Hickman, it makes you think, and it's like, is this real? Is this gonna happen? What the hell? You never know. But yeah. And I love Doom in this. You know, my man Doom, you know, he's my favorite villain of all time. He belittles Namor in this because Namor came to him about joining the Cabal last, and I love that line. Where's that line from Namor? Some bad things happen in here to Wakanda, and Jesus Christ, you just really truly fear for the Wakandans in this. What did it mean? Okay, here it is. You know, Namor's just pleading with Doom, and Doom's like, you know, I'm not going anywhere, you know, I'm not joining you, and you know why? And it's a little ego trip, but, you know, because you came to me second, you know, you never came to me, you know, basically saying you should have came to me first, you know. I love what he says, Doom is no man's second choice. I'm like, yeah, that's Doc Doom right there. And let's face it, Doom ain't no man's second choice. You want a heavy hitter, you want somebody tough and bring fear, yeah. Alright. New Warriors number 10. 2 more issues to go before this ends. Chris Yost and Eric Burheim. Marcus 2's artwork, of course. Always love Marcus 2. Basically, it's the New Warriors taking the fight to the High Evolutionary. And boy, did they take it to him. Do they defeat him? You just have to figure it out for yourselves. And some dissension in the High Evolutionaries' ranks. One of the coolest things, and the thing we kind of figure out is like, why does the High Evolutionary do stuff like this? He's willing to commit genocide just to save the world, and we get to see what's going on. And I give you a clue who the characters at the end are. They're the children of the Celestials, not internal, but Eternals. Yeah, they come back. So I'll spoil that for you. But yeah, this was fun. Good, but fun. It was good to see the teamwork between the group. Justice does a good job leading them, and it, you know, basically proves, you know, like, the dude was an Avenger, and he's learned well, and he's a good leader. I loved Kane in this. He's just like, just give me something to hit. You know, he blows one of the High Evolutionaries' men head right off. Hummingbird does some good stuff in here as well. And Hachi, you know, Hachi, he does some good stuff too. And Speedball too, of course. Ballman, you know, good stuff. Alright. And last but not least, Storm number 3. Nice cover. Greg Pak does a good job with it. Storm actually returns home to Africa. Now, she's been there before, but not just any part of Africa. Kenya. Back to the place where it all started for her, back in Giant Size X-Men number 1, way back in 1975, where she was, you know, branded as the goddess and things like that. And, you know, the village is still in a lot of drought, and she gets a message from somebody. Beast gives her a message of somebody's message you. She goes there and finds out that the person that pretty much messaged her is one of her former lovers, Forge. Yes, guys, for all of us who don't know, Forge and Storm were a couple at one point, and you know, Storm is not really forgiving of everything Forge has done, and he helps with a lot of trying to make this work. And you know, it's not no action, just a lot of dialogue and storytelling that revolves the story. And I love the ending where basically, you know, almost Forge wants to say, Storm, you know, do you ever think like maybe we'll, you know, get back together? And, you know, Storm says, I'm seeing someone. I'm seeing someone that he's like, that's great. Okay, but I wasn't gonna say, you know, that. He's like, can we be friends? And I love the line Storm says. She's like, you keep coming to the village, or you stay in the village for a year, then we'll think about being friends. But it was good. Greg Pak did a good job on this title. And it's only 3 issues in, so you guys can catch up if you want to give the Storm series a try. Dig Storm with the Mohawk again. I love it. I said it before, Storm could be goddamn bald if I don't like hair. I still love her. But other than that, Storm number 3, good stuff. Good job, Mr. Pak. And Scott Hubert and David Paulino, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, sir. The artwork is pretty good. Very good indeed. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed what I had to show you. I will be back, of course, next time. I promise you guys, issue 2 of Hitting the Classics will be up really soon. I think this Wednesday or Thursday I'll have it up. But other than that, this is my Verdant Kid saying follow me. You know where to follow me: Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. Follow people like me, Mentor, Blue Goblin on Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook himself. Continue to look at his reviews. You got Mr. J. He does reviews as well. My friend, my friend Jay, Jeremy, Comic Frontline, Cat, and all of them. Mike, they do the comic reviews. And I want to give a shout out to the great legend. He's retired. And I've only known him for a short amount of time, but sir, I tip my hat to you. Hope to see you down the road again sometime. I won't say goodbye, but just see you around. But other than that, this is my Verdant Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys, as always. I'll see you guys next time with another comic review. I'm out. Take care.